we will we'll get started. So Angela, Michelle, welcome. Charles, welcome. Antonio, welcome. Principal Rebecca Johnson, welcome. My name is Darren Early. I'm the director of the LMU Family of Schools, and one of our signature demonstration professional development schools is Playa Vista Elementary. All of you know about Playa Vista. You know the great work that's been done there. You know just how Rebecca and her staff are just. I mean, they're. I'll put it like this: they're good for kids, and they hold them accountable. They have high expectations, and good work is being done in that space, and it's been like that for years. And so we're really excited to partner with Ms. Johnson. She's authentic. She's just a tremendous partner. All that being said, everybody's concerned about, can I get my child into Playa Vista? What do we need to do? How do we connect with Playa Vista? And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be quiet. This year, things look a little bit different, as everything does in this world of pandemic. And so I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca. She will let you know a little bit about this process, let you know a little bit about the school. Then we will take some Q&A after that, if anybody has any questions. And then afterwards, we will make sure, I'll put in the chat in a second, her email and my email, to make sure that you get that information moving forward in the event that you have other questions to ask. So Rebecca, I will be quiet now, and it is your floor.
I want you to mark the day and time he said that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So usually what we do with Loyola Marymount is the families is there's an email that's put out, and then you come and a lottery is held and you're put into a certain order, and we call you when we think we have room. As Dr. Early said, this year is different. We've had several families leave us and move out of California, out of Playa Vista. At this moment, we have space, and there isn't anything to be concerned about when it comes to having to hold a lottery. So everybody breathe, you can all come. We can accommodate all of the LMU families that wish to attend this year. So let me talk to you a little bit about that process, how that happens, because it's a bit different if you live within LAUSD boundaries or if you live outside of LAUSD boundaries. So let me talk to you a little bit about that, and then we can talk about the school, because I could probably talk about the school for an hour, but we've said we're going to be short on time. So here we go, or quick. So if you are inside Los Angeles Unified School District, you need to do what's called an intra-district permit. I have that form here. You could just email me. I can send you that form. You can take it to your school of residence. The principal would sign off on that, and we would welcome you in after you completed all of the enrollment papers. And I'll tell you where to find those in just a minute. If you live outside of LAUSD boundaries, you have to be released by that school district. So if you're in Inglewood or Culver City or one of those school districts, they have to release you. Once they release you, we can take you in, it's not a problem. But we are not able to grant the permit. They are the ones that have to grant the permit for you to come into LAUSD. And that's called an inter-district permit. And that goes through the permit office that is the LAUSD General Permit Office. And I know that's a little confusing, but those are two things you really need to pay attention to. If you're within LA, it's easy. If you're without, you have to start with your home district, be released, and come in. The one thing we do look at is if your child who you are enrolling has a special education program. If any of your students have individual education plans, they're a special education student, we need to look to make sure that we have the program that they need here before we can enroll them. So that's the only other caveat. Are there any questions about that? No? Pretty straightforward? Okay.
And feel free to use the chat also if you want to throw questions in the chat. That will be safe.
There's two. Go ahead.
So to be released from your district, you said basically there's a permit that we need to get, but what's the process to be released from your district? Like, how long does something like that take?
It's really dependent on the district. We have had some districts where they want you to actually enroll your child and then ask for a permit. We've had some districts that will just go ahead and release you and it's not a problem. So it ranges. So it really is dependent on what district it is. and you would just go to their school offices and say, I would like to attend a school within LAUSD. I need an inter-district permit. Can you give me that form, please? And they would help you go through that process. At least they should.
Okay.
Okay. We have had some people who want the child actually enrolled and then they will transfer. I'm not quite sure why, but it could be the way they keep records. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then once you have the permit, an intra you can get from me, an inter begins with your outside district home. Once you have that, you can go on to playavistaschool.com. That's our website. There's an enroll now button. You click on that. It has all of the forms that you need, and there are a lot of them. Just to give you a warning, there's a bunch of papers that do need to be completed. You'll need a birth certificate. You'll need immunization records, all of that to enroll your child. But all of the things that you need and all of the forms that you need to complete are there for your information. If you have any questions, I've got one more email for you, Darren, to put into the chat. Let me make sure I get it right. Christina Koffler is our enrollment specialist. She will start to be on campus next week. She's coming Tuesday, Thursday of next week, but you can also email her if you have any questions about the enrollment process. Her email is kak9583@lausd.net. Again, her name is Christina. And she is the one that will be helping you walk through the process of enrolling. And she knows that this year we are just taking in LMU families. We are not doing a lottery. So she knows to go ahead and start the process with you. Okay. May I ask the grade levels that you are interested in? If you don't want to unmute yourself, if you just want to put it in the chat, that would be helpful for me to know what grade level we're talking about here, but we do have space in all of the grade levels.
My daughter will be attending kinder.
Good.
She's just finishing up at DRCC, Delray Christian Center, right down the street.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, second grade, no problem, kindergarten. Good. We like them when they come in kindergarten, then they're ours for the whole time. We like that.
Kindergarten as well.
Good. Good.
My son would be transitional kindergarten, I think. He's 3 and something.
So I assume we're LAUSD.
I'm sorry. Someone said something.
I said we live here in Westchester, so I assume we're
Yes.
LAUSD.
You are. So you will need to just see what your homeschool is. You can go on to the LAUSD website and click on find a school, put your address in there and it'll tell you what the homeschool is.
Yeah, our
Okay.
homeschool is Kentwood because we're 2 blocks from Kentwood.
Okay. All right. Then you would just go to the Kentwood and ask them to release you from Kentwood so that you can come on down here. Okay. Transitional kindergarten is for students who turn 5 between September 2nd and December 2nd.
So this would be like for the year after, like not this.
Right.
Coming. Yeah.
Right. So it wouldn't be this coming year. It would be in a year. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Ms. Johnson, if we live in Redondo Beach, but we've had our son in private school, so will we still need the permit?
Yes, because you have to be released by your public school in that area. Where are you? You're in, I didn't hear.
Redondo?
Redondo.
Redondo.
Yeah, Redondo would need to release you to come here.
Got it.
So you would, even though your son is enrolled in private, the public school has to release you because it's public school funds. That's really what that release is about. They're agreeing to let the ADA go to LAUSD because they should really go to Redondo. That's what that's for. So yes, you would need to still do that. Okay, looks good. So we have a school tour this Tuesday. If you want to join us, you can go on to our website, playavistaschool.com. You can sign up for that tour and you could get the full overview of the program and meet some of our parents, and they will show you some of the pictures of the classrooms. In broad spans, what we've been doing over the last 7 years is creating a STEM curriculum, science, technology, engineering, and math curriculum that's integrated with the other subjects that begins in TK, which is one of the reasons why our program is different, because usually in schools, they don't start till 3rd. But our science program begins in TK and goes all the way through 5th grade. And they are all aligned to the next generation science standards. And we have an LMU employee, Kelly Keeler, who was our curriculum developer, who works with us to develop and implement that program. That really, and that's why pre-service teachers at LMU come down and do observation hours here. We have student teachers here from LMU. We have TAs that are LMU students, undergrads that are working here as TAs. We have a lot of LMU connections, and a lot of the teachers we have hired over the years have just come right smack out of the LMU program. So we've got quite a connection to the SOE, and we're very happy with that and proud of that program that we've put together. Are there any questions that you have? Well, okay, wait a minute, step back. I am going to real quick just go over, just in case this is worst case scenario. I'm hoping this isn't going to happen. But if we have to open up under some restrictions in August, that I don't think it'll be happening. We should be all done by that. Everybody should be vaccinated. Everything should be wonderful. But we have been operating with a Zoom program so far. Everybody's been distanced, and we do start in our hybrid with some kids coming on starting April 20th. And if we have to open up in a hybrid program in August, it would be a choice between online and in person. You would never be asked to have your child come on school if we're still in this situation. You're never required to bring your child on school if you're uncomfortable with that, if you don't feel safe with that. I just want to make sure people know they have that option.
Now, quick question. Are we able to still take the tour but have not been released yet?
Sure, of course. Yeah.
And then I think my wife was reading that, I think she was saying papers or all forms needed to be complete by Monday in order to take the tour. But
No,
that's not, okay.
no. There, being a public school, our enrollment opens up on a certain date. Our enrollment doesn't close until the last day of school of 2022. The enrollment's open the entire time. We want you to get them to us so we can be ready for you and have you here. But there isn't a deadline to get papers in by before summer or anything like that. So no, you're good. I'm being asked to talk about Coatson too. We do have the Coatson Foundation here. We have 5 teachers who are in a cohort and 1 teacher who has stepped out of our classroom who is their coach. And we have been focusing, they have been focusing very much so on representing all cultures in the curriculum and having all races represented in the literature that we study, in the just across all of the curriculum bands. We've been working with that this school year, and we have really made some strides towards having all students represented when we do our studies in ELA especially. So that's what we've been working on. What else should I say, Darren?
Another question is, how large are the kindergarten classes?
Okay. There's a 24:1 ratio in TK through 3rd grade. So the largest that we would like them to get up to be is 24. We do have teachers' assistants, 1 per every 2 classrooms in kindergarten. So they do have a TA, and we highly, highly, highly encourage parent volunteers. We want you in the room. So you can come in as well, but it's 24:1, TK through 3rd. And then when we get into 4th and 5th grade, it's 32:1. It goes up by 8 students.
After school programs?
Yeah, there is after school programs. There is STAR tradition in a, hold on a second, guys. In a normal year, we have STAR, which is a fee-based program that takes TK through 1st. You can have your child continue in STAR all the way through 5th if you choose, but TK through 1st, the only after-school program available to you is STAR, and that is a fee-based program. And then starting in 2nd grade, we have Beyond the Bell, which is a LAUSD program that is free, and it's 2nd through 5th. They do have a snack time. They are encouraged to work on their homework, and then they play on the yard. They do not have enrichment programs. They don't have other things that STAR has. It really is a playground supervision service between the end of school until 6 o'clock in the evening. And STAR goes until 6 o'clock in the evening as well in a normal school year. Yeah.
I'm wondering, can you just explain to me what is the STAR program? What do they do? Because I'm unfamiliar.
Well, STAR has a lot of, they'll do art. They can do Legos. They can do some computer work. They do have enrichment classes that you can pay for, which are Galaxy, I think is what they call them. You can do Spanish. You can do robotics. You can do all sorts of things. If you go on to STAR Inc., that is their website, and you can see quite a bit about their programs. Okay, but that's STAR Inc. But again, they are fee-based. Standardized testing, I see. Can you tell us how the kids, right now we're all crossing everything that we have, that the standardized testing is once again not mandatory this year. California's been granted the waiver, and we're hoping that LAUSD just has us do our in-house testing. But for standardized testing for the state, it starts in 3rd grade. So it's 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. It's a week of math testing, a week of ELA testing, English language arts testing. And then for 5th grade, they also take the science test for the state. And it's all computerized. They do it all on their Chromebooks. We have iPads for every student in TK through 2nd, and Chromebooks for every student in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They take their standardized tests on Chromebooks. The state test is computer adaptive, which means if they keep getting them right, they just keep making the questions more difficult. If they start to miss them, they take it down a little bit. And when they've missed 3 or 4 in a row, they stop. So that's how that testing works.
And the other part that Rebecca is not speaking to is that annually Playa Vista normally does really well. So
They do pretty good.
They've had a history of doing really well on testing, so that has not been an issue for them. And then there's another question, Rebecca, about robotics, Spanish, other types of extracurricular kind of classes that are offered.
So robotics is offered to our 4th and 5th grade students through Planet Bravo. Planet Bravo is the vendor that we contract with to provide the computer class lessons. They do a great job. And 4th and 5th grade work on robotics during the class time, during the school day. It's not an after-school program. It is part of their curriculum. And we're getting, hopefully this coming year, we'll get to finally jump off and do where the kids they do not get a robotic kit where they are given directions on how to put it together. They're given robotic parts, given a problem, and they have to figure out which parts and how to put it together to solve that problem. So it's like taking robotics up to the next level. It's not a kit. So we're hoping that happens this next year. It was supposed to happen and then the pandemic hit. So we're hoping that it happens this coming year. We do not have Spanish during the school day. We do not have any language instruction. It is not part of the instructional minutes required by the state. So any kind of language instruction happens outside of the school day. Having said that, we have 12 languages represented here by our students at Playa. So they hear Russian, Korean, Vietnamese, Mandarin, Spanish, French. They hear all sorts of different languages, Farsi, here at school with their classmates, but we do not do formal instruction in those languages.
All right. Any other questions? And remember, this is not your only opportunity. I know that Mr. McCall, you just came on with us. Is there any any questions that you have as it relates to school, as it relates to enrollment, anything like that?
Not at the moment, sorry. I'm on mute with video off because I got a couple kids running around my feet.
We're used to that.
It's
We're
a
used
school,
to that
man.
around
We're
here.
good with that.
It's fine. It's fine.
The oldest parent we have has a 2nd grader, so you know that everybody is, they know that scramble.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought I'd hop on and see what other folks had to say and just get some general information if I could.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Good deal.
Sure.
All righty. So it seems like questions are answered. If you want to look back in the chat, okay, Mr. De La Cruz has a question. And it says, if I want to enroll my son in the academic year 22-23, when should I start the process? About the same time, depending upon what's happening with the enrollment next year at Playa Vista. That will determine normally, and Rebecca, correct me if I'm wrong, normally we have these conversations earlier, like maybe January, we'll start, floating things out. But because I talked to Rebecca in November and she kind of forecasted that there was going to be space, it got off my radar until normally we don't make the final decision until around this time because she doesn't know until the end of the school year. But so we're great in terms of how our time worked this year. However, next year, when she and I talk in November, she's like, Darren, enrollment is booming. Then these conversations will happen earlier. We will have a lottery like we've done in the past and all those things that we've done to kind of, the traditional process of getting an LMU family into Playa Vista, they will be back in place. This year is non-traditional across the board. So that's what we're getting.
Right. So you guys have it at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if there's not any, if there's no additional questions, I want to thank you all for coming on. I want to let you know, if you look in the chat, both at the top of the chat, for those of you who just came on, I will try to see, well, let me just put those back in there. The contact information and a few things that we talked about earlier. And let me see if I can get that here so that Matthew, you can kind of get it out the chat. But the primary thing is just this. If you need to get in touch with Rebecca or myself, feel free to do that. Anything else you can find on the Playa Vista website.
And you're welcome, like I say, to join that tour. You can sign up and come on over and see the tour because that would get they've been going, just so that you know, to block off. The tour presentation itself is about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but the conversations have been going for about 30 minutes after that. So they're about an hour altogether with the presentation and then the Q&A. So you're more than welcome to join us. Okay.
All right.
And you will be on that tour as well?
Yeah, I started off and give the overview of the program and, all of that good stuff and how talk more about in detail more about the LMU partnership and our partnership with Biona Wetlands and all of that. And then Natalie Shoemaker, who is the president at the present time for our Friends of Playa Vista, our parent group, takes it over and she talks about and shows pictures of the classrooms and parent volunteering and some of the things that we do throughout the year. And
just in case someone was wondering, this is a virtual tour. All right. Just in case, don't show up at the door and talk about I'm here.
No, not gonna happen.
What time is the tour happening?
9:30 in the morning on Tuesday, the 13th. Gotcha. Right, 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday, the 13th.
All right. And so what would be helpful is if you were going to, if you could sign up, maybe at least by the 12th, that would be helpful just so they can have a sense of,
Yeah, so we could see how many people are gonna be there, but we can have a whole bunch of people join us. It's fun.
It's good. Good.
Yeah.
All righty. So thank you, Principal Johnson, for your informative overview and giving us all the information that we need about registration and about, just the magic that's happening at Playa Vista and what it looks like moving forward. Thank you, LMU families, for logging on. Feel free to contact us if you have any other questions, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, you guys. It's good to see you. Hope to see you on the tour.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.